Welcome to lesson 6.5, using different methods to solve equations. This is the last lesson in unit 6, and I don't even know if I want to call it a lesson because you are not learning a different strategy to solve algebraic equations in this lesson. It's kind of more of a review and simply thinking and looking at the 5 strategies that we've learned in this lesson and now kind of applying it and deciding which method would be best to use to solve different types of equations, because some of these strategies lend themselves a little bit better to certain types of questions. So like I said, this one's going to be short and sweet. We're going to do just a very quick review of what the 5 strategies are that we've learned this lesson, which I've written down right here. And the practice questions for this lesson are just you deciding which of these strategies is best for certain kinds of questions and why. That's the important part, the why. So if we recall that systematic trial is a system of guess and check. Inspection is kind of using that mental math to sort through algebraic equations. Algebra tiles and balance scales, those two are kind of our visual, using symbols and pictures to help you visualize and solve algebraic equations. And then our last unit was just on algebra, so that's just taking the mathematical steps to solve an equation. If you're unsure how to apply or use any of these strategies, feel free to go and watch any of the previous 4 lessons from 6.1 to 6.4, and it will explain how to use these strategies. But at this point, you should be relatively comfortable with them, and you should have practiced them in your math homework duotangs by this point. And as always, the important thing to remember is when you look at a question and you're choosing a strategy that you would like to use to solve that question, make sure you're showing all of your steps and you're explaining why you chose that method, because there might be certain situations where it might make more sense, or it might be more helpful to use one strategy over the other, and it's really going to help show your thinking if you can explain that in words. And so I'm basically going to leave you with that. My last kind of parting thought before you start with your practice questions is you might feel more comfortable using one strategy over another. You might prefer one over another, which is fine. But when you're going through your practice and when you get your unit test at the end of this unit, make sure that you are able to use all of those strategies and that you're able to show, even though maybe you prefer using inspection or algebra, that you are able to answer questions using all of the specific types of strategies. So I'm going to leave you with that, and that's the end of this unit.